I haven't had a losing session yet. Oh no, you jinxed it. Oh no! Hey, what's up guys? It's been a while since I did an intro. A couple of announcements. I'm gonna try to increase my output so that I get about 2 videos a week. Either do a Monday, Thursday release schedule or Monday, Friday release schedule. Yeah, we're gonna try to just grind this out for the next few months. See if this schedule is even possible to keep up. But yeah, that's pretty much the update. As you can see from the title, it was a rough session this time around. Gets into some spots. Kind of coolers, really. Check some of these hands out, see what you guys think. I definitely could have played better, but I definitely had to lose money here in this session. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe. It really helps me out. And without further ado, let's see some hands. All right, let's get right into it. So 2-5, no limit, $1,500 buy-in. First hand to note, we're under the gun with pocket eights. I told myself that I was gonna play a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more loose aggressive, and pocket eights is definitely a hand that I have to play. I didn't really want to limp in the under the gun, so I opened it up to $15. I think this is fine. Kind of balances my range out with good hands. Middle position calls this, cutoff calls this, so we are 3 ways to the flop. Flop comes king, queen, deuce, 2 spades though. 2 overcards to my eights. I do want to see what the other guys do, so I check it over to them and it checks through. So when it checks through, I don't hate my hand now, and when the turn comes a 3, not a spade, kind of like it better now. With everybody checking through on the flop, I delay c-bet for $25. I don't hate it. I guess I can get called from Jack 10, Ace 10, Ace Jack, all the spade draws. Middle position calls and the cutoff folds, so we are heads up to the river. And the river comes a 5 of spades, completing the front door flush. Not much I could do. One of the draws got there, so I decided to check it. And the middle position checks it, and I tell him I have pocket eights, and he has Queen Jack offsuit, and he wins with the paired queens. I mean, I guess I could have tried to beat him out of a pot with that hand, but I had to bet out on the flop, probably bet out on the turn, and then go big on the river. I had showdown value with pocket eights, so I played it like it, and I lost in showdown. Kind of the theme of the night, I guess. Just second best hands. Okay, second hand to note, we have an under the gun straddle to $10. I look down at king queen offsuit on the button, and it folds to me. I open it up to $30, and only the straddler calls. Heads up to the flop. Flop comes 9, 10, 7, 2 diamonds. Under the gun checks to me, kind of favors the other guy's range compared to me. I mean, if I had aces or kings, I definitely would have bet small, but with king, queen, 2 over cards, not really worth it to start betting. If I get check raise, I probably will have to fold, so I check it back. And the turn comes a jack of spades, kind of banked a gutter here. Now we have the nuts that's kind of hidden, and even better, the under the gun bets for $50. There's a double flush draw now. With the nuts, I kind of have to defend my hand a little bit here and also find out where I'm at, like how strong his hand is. So I raise it up to $200. I don't mind this. Like if I get jammed on, I'm obviously calling, and he calls. So we're going to the river, and the river comes another jack pairing the board. I do try to make a little thin value bet here. I bet out for $200. He actually quickly calls, and I tell him that I have a straight. I show him the king queen, and he's kind of surprised. He shows me the 8 of diamonds, so he had the lower end of the straight. Yeah, I mean, kind of coolered him here and kind of got thin value even though the board paired, so not bad. Decent pot, decent hand to win. Next hand to note, there's another straddle to $10. Folds to me on the button again, and I look down at 10, 7 of spades. A little bit of wide, but still like the hand, so I open it up to $30. The big blind and the under the gun straddler call, so we are 3 ways to the flop of king, 5, 6, 2 spades. Not a bad flop, kind of good with the king. Hits my range to 2 spades, very good for my hand specifically. The big blind and the under the gun checks to me, and I see bet for $35, and only the big blind calls. Turn is a good looking card, it's the 4 of spades, hitting my flush. Now big blind checks over to me, and I kind of wanted to play like I had the king, so I checked this one back. Like if I had like ace king without a spade or something, that I would do this king queen, king jack, king 10, stuff like that. I would check back here when the flush completes. The river comes an offsuit jack, and I thought that maybe the big blind would have bet out or something like that, but he doesn't. He checks, and here I think I make a little sizing mistake. If I really had a king, I would probably bet small, you know, trying to get called by any other kings, but I bet out big here. I bet out for $250. If I made it maybe smaller, he would have had to think about it a little bit more and maybe call like a middling pair like pocket 10 or something like that. So I think it's a little bit of a sizing mistake, but that's okay. It's all right to take down another pot. At this point, I'm feeling pretty good, you know? Like, I'm winning some pots, I'm building up a stack, I'm playing pretty decently, and yeah, not getting into bad spots. But oh boy, things start to slide from here onwards. We are six-handed here in this hand. Under the gun opens to $15. I'm in the hijack with pocket sevens. I call the 15 and the cutoff call, so we are 3 ways to the flop. Flop is 5-4, 5-2 hearts. Under the gun C bets out for $20. I call and the cutoff calls. Turn is an 8 of diamonds. Under the gun now checks, which makes me feel like he probably has 2 high cards. I check. I do have a gutter ball to a 6 for a straight. Now the cutoff bets out for $65. Under the gun folds. Cutoff guy's been playing pretty loose. He definitely could have a 5 in his hand. Because I can't draw to a 6, I don't think I can fold just here yet. If I hit the 6, I probably could get paid off. So I do call one time, and the river comes a 10 of spades. I check it over to him one more time, and the cutoff now bets $150. Definitely thinking about him having a 5, but he's kind of representing 6-7 here, like a straight. So because I had pocket sevens, I felt like I had blockers to him having 6-7. I kind of tanked for a little bit, and I did want to give this guy some action just because he's been splashing around, and you know, he paid me off with the king queen. But I shouldn't be really thinking like this. This is not a good way to think. I decided to call, and he shows me 5-6 offsuit. Kind of good in a sense that a 6 didn't roll off on the river, because he would have probably had a house and we would have lost more money. But yeah, kind of was a decent pot here. Kind of sucks my momentum out a little bit there. Yeah, I think the fold was on the river for sure. Alright, back to kind of a fuller table here. There's a straddle to $10. Hijack opens to $30, and I look down at pocket 10s in the small blind. And you guessed it, I'm going to be a little more aggressive. So I 3-bet this 10s up to $90. He calls. So we are heads up. The flop's kind of bad for my hand exactly. Ace, queen, jack, 2 clubs. I mean, my range hits this board pretty hard. I could have all the ace kings, ace queens, ace jacks, maybe pocket aces, pocket queens, pocket jacks. But for my hand exactly, pocket 10s, 3 overcards. And he also called my 3-bets, so I have to put him on one of those overcards, right? But I do c-bet for $75, kind of on the smaller side, to see what he does, and he calls. Now the turn brings the 10 of spades. So now there's ace, queen, jack, 10, 2 clubs, 2 spades, and I hit the bottom set, and it's a one-liner to a king for a straight. And I really didn't know what to do here. I kind of froze a little bit because I didn't really want to bet out for some reason. I felt like, yes, I hit a set here, but every hand that was continuing on the flop kind of is good. I mean, the only hand that I'm beating is like ace queen, ace jack, queen jack, but like ace king I'm losing to now because of the king. King queen I'm losing, king jack I'm losing. A set of aces I'm losing to, set of queens, set of jacks. There's a lot of hands I'm losing to. And if I bet and I got raised, I really didn't know what I was gonna do. So what I ended up doing is I checked to him, and he bets out for $150. I was like, okay, that's a good price. I could call this and try to hit a boat on the river or get some more information in the river. So he bets $150. I call, and the river comes a 5 of hearts, bricked out, and I check it over to him again, and now he kind of tanks a bit, and he bets out big. He bets 535, and I'm not liking this spot at all. There's a lot of hands I actually lose to, and I thought about what kind of bluffs he could have here. I don't see any bluffs he could have. Like, I have the 10 of clubs too, so he can't really have jack 10. Can't have king 10 of clubs. So the only hand that I was beating in this spot was ace queen, ace jack, queen jack, or a complete bluff that I cannot find, because like he's not gonna have 9s here. 6-7. Like, why would he bet so big with that? Like, is he turning his 2-pair into a bluff now because he thinks I have a set all of a sudden? Like, it doesn't make any sense. He has to have a king here. So I know it sucks. I'm thinking a while about this, but I end up folding, and he doesn't show. I was like, oh, do you want to show me if I fold? I get no answer. He's super stoic, and I do catch him on the way out of the poker room later on when he's leaving, and I was like taking a break, and I asked him, oh, in that hand, like, what did you have? Did you have a king? And he tells me he had a king. I don't know if he's lying or not, but I do believe him. Like he could have ace king easily there. But I'm glad that I folded on the river. I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you guys think, if I made a good fold or did I get bluffed off. We'll never know, really. I fold for a full orbit before looking down at this hand. There's a straddle again to $10. Folds to me on the button, and I look down at ace 3 offsuit. Definitely on the looser side, but again, I was going to be playing a little more loose aggressive, so I open it up to $30. Small blind calls, and the straddler calls, so we are 3 ways. The flop comes down king, deuce, jack, 2 hearts. Checks to me, so I see c-bet for $30, and only the straddler calls. So we're heads up to the turn. Turn comes a 6 of hearts, so there's 3 hearts. I do have the ace of hearts. I didn't know at the time. I was confused if I had the ace of hearts or the 3 of hearts, but I knew I had a heart. He checks it to me, and I check it back, and then I check which heart I have. And as I do that, the river comes out the 7 of hearts, and I look down at that I have the ace of hearts, so I have the nuts here. He checks it to me one more time, and I bet out for $60 for value, and he snap calls it, and I tell him I hit the flush, I hit the nut flush here, and he shows me king jack for 2 pair. Wow, another cooler with the same guy. I know this pot isn't really significant, like it's not that big, but I've been coolering the same guy multiple times, and this kind of leads me to make a certain type of decision in a later pot, later hand, that's kind of significant, so I thought that I would include this pot here. So I don't want to give any spoilers, so we're gonna move on and I'll get to that hand later. Okay, next hand. There's another straddle to $10. Man, there's a lot of straddles going on. Anyways, under the gun raises to $30. Middle position calls, and I look down at king 10 of diamonds in the cutoff. I call here, but I don't really like this call. I think I should be playing more 3-bet fold strategy with like a king 10, queen 10, even though they're suited. Yeah, that's probably what I should be doing more in the future, because you just get into more dicey spots with these hands, even though they're suited Broadway cards. I think maybe like queen jack suited, king queen suited you could more call. But anyways, I call in this spot, and the button calls, and the straddler calls. We are 5 ways to the flop, hoping for a really good flop. It comes 10-9-9 rainbow. Checks to me. I mean, it's a good flop-ish because I have top pair, but I mean, I lose to a lot of hands, like ace 10 I'm losing to, any 9. I mean, I wasn't the raiser, so I check it back and it checks around. The turn is a king. Now I got 2 pair. Checks to me. I lead out for $60 just to find out where everybody's at. You know, it's 5 ways already. The button calls, and then the under the gun calls. So we're still 3 ways to the river. That's the 6 of diamonds. Under the gun now wakes up and he bets out for $180. I should have known this. Like, who the heck is checking, calling, and then just donking on in the river without a 9 here? I thought maybe he had a king, and I'm beating any king now with the king 10. But any king wouldn't lead out here, and they wouldn't play like this. They'll probably either raise me on the turn to find out where they are, or just check to me again on the river, right? I don't know what I was thinking. I do call, and he shows me jack 9 suited. Of course, he had the 9. So yeah, kind of getting into tough spots where I have to make this hero folds, and I've been doing a little bit of it, but not enough. No straddle this time around. So cutoff opens to $20 and folds to me, and I'm in the big blind with 7-8 of hearts. I decided to defend here. I think it's fine. 7-8 hearts, connected, suited cards. See what happens on the flop. So we're heads up to the flop, and the flop comes out queen 4, queen 2 hearts. So we do have a flush draw here. I check it over to the cutoff to see what he does, and he c-bets for $15. And here I thought that even though I have a flush draw, it just doesn't feel good. So I decided that I need to start bluffing here, so that even if I do hit the flush, or if I don't hit the flush, I could win the pot somehow. So I check raise this up to $50 to make it look like I hit the queen, like I could have queen 10. I raised to $50 and he calls. The turn comes the king of spades. Not gonna shy away from making the bets, so I bet out for $100 and he calls. Now the river comes a jack of clubs. The flush draw didn't come in, which might be good for me, so I decide to bet out for $300, make it polarizing, and he quickly folds. So we get this bluff through. Not bad. I'll take this win. Okay guys, this is a massive hand, massive pot here. So I'm under the gun with queen 10 of spades, and I decide to limp in. Now, the middle position raises to $25. The low jack calls, the button calls, the small blind calls. I call, and we're going 5 ways. I mean, queen 10 of spades, 5 ways? I find that's not really good, because you get into tricky spots again. I think jack 10 suited is way better in this spot. So I think next time, I should be either opening and getting 3-bet and folding, or get real tricky and I limp in and I click it back when somebody else raises to make it look like I might have aces. Something like that. Something more trickier than just limp calling here. So anyways, we're 5 ways to the flop. Flop comes jack of spades, 7 of spades, 8 of clubs, a gutter plus a flush draw. I check it, middle position. He says c-bets for $70. The button calls and I call. So we're 3 ways now. Turn comes the ace of diamonds. I check it, middle position bets $125. The button calls, and I decide to check raise to $425. I have an open-ended straight draw now, well, double belly buster, and the flush draw. What I did, I don't really hate it, but I don't really like it either. I think the sizing is really weird because I'm gonna 4x-ish the guy's bet, but the stack sizes are gonna be weird after. Like, the button only has like 5-10 left behind if he calls this. Middle position only has like 7-8 $100 after. So technically, if I was gonna do this, I should have just jammed it all in, because now it's really weird when they call because I don't have any fold equity on the river. So if I was gonna take this line of check raising here, which I still don't really like, I think the better play is to just call and realize equity more on the river. Yeah, it's kind of a tough spot, and it's tough when the middle position now calls this, but it doesn't like it. I was coolering him all night, so I felt like he might have like 2 pair here at best, and the button now takes a while too. He's like humming and hawing, and he ends up calling. We're still 3 ways with the massive pot with not a lot of money behind. When the button calls, I really didn't like it. Like, what is the button calling here with? Like, I don't think he had called with a set. He probably has to shove all in with a set. So the only hand realistically that he should be calling there is with a flush draw. Man, hopefully he doesn't have a better flush draw than me. And the river comes a 9 of spades, so I do hit my flush. And for a second there, I literally thought that I had a straight flush, but it's the 7 of spades, not the 8 of spades. Ooh, it would have been so much better if I had the 8 of spades. I think a little bit, because I actually don't like that I hit the spade. I would have rather liked it if I hit an offsuit 9 or an offsuit king to give me a straight. Would have been the nuts, obviously. Obviously, I would like that better. But, I mean, with not a lot of stack behind, and me actually hitting my hand, I go all in. It's like maybe like $500, $600, $700 if dollars effective. The middle position quickly folds, but the button quickly calls, and he just shows his hand. He has ace deuce of spades. For the nuts, he had the flush draw with the pair, and I thought he would have just jammed it on the turn when I check raised. I can't believe he just called that. Was he thinking of just calling and folding on the river if he didn't hit? So maybe if the river was more of a blank, then I could have won the pot more, because I was going to go all in either way. That's the whole reason I made the check raise play on the turn. I think the money was going to go all in anyways if I just called the turn and I checked it over to the button. I might not even have checked it over to the button. I might have just let out and the button would have just raised and I would have just called. I mean, queen eye flush is pretty strong here. So yeah, kind of a cooler, kind of a misplay. Definitely could have lost a minimum there instead of losing the maximum, doubling somebody up. Like I could have just called the turn and then check called the river. I don't know if I'm good enough yet to check raise the turn and then check fold the river, which would have been a sick play. It was going through my head. I did feel something like that 9 of spades wasn't actually really good for me, but I just couldn't help myself going all in on the river because I hit my hand. I lose a big chunk of my stack here. Okay, well, last hand of the session here. I was getting pretty tired. It was getting pretty late. Felt like I was going to tilt off because of all these hero folds I have to make. It does not feel good to try and fold these hands all the time, but sometimes that's how she goes. So there's a straddle to $10 here, low jack opens to $35, and I look down at pocket queens in the button. First premium of the day here, and I 3-bet it up to 105. The straddler calls, the low jack calls, so we are 3 ways to the flop. The flop comes down 3 deuce 6 rainbow. Pretty good board for me, so I see bet for 115. And everybody folds. I thought I was gonna make more mistakes coming in or one more cooler and I was just gonna lose it. So decided to end the session here with a loss. But hey, there's more poker to play. It's a marathon, not a sprint. So rack up and cash out. Yeah, there you go. That's the end of the session. I tried the best I could. I got a little more aggressive, got a little more loose. Didn't work out. Was half my fault, half not, because I didn't run any good. Overplayed some hands, but that's how she goes. Here's the numbers. Think I lost about 750 something bucks. Yeah, well, there goes the win streak. Kind of my fault that I lost more than I should have. I kind of overplayed some hands, tried to bluff some spots and didn't work out. So next time, hopefully I don't do that, but who knows? I'm still going to be a little more aggressive, a little more loose than I was playing before, just because I never want to run into a spot where I'm not getting value from top set over set. That's just ridiculous. I'm going to try to play better. I'm going to be grinding really hard, putting the hours in, putting the days, and just kind of keep going. Like, we're going to put 2 sessions a week, try to come out Monday and maybe Thursday or Friday. We'll see how the schedule goes. I'm going to be probably playing tomorrow again to get a second session in. So hopefully tomorrow's a better session. Thanks for supporting the channel by watching, liking, and subscribing. Please do so. It really helps a lot. Keeps me going. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.